Welcome to Spam Filter for Your Brain, bite-sized ponderings on how our thoughts influence our behaviour and our lives, and because we're all connected, how our thoughts impact the world. I'm here to help people reconnect with their bodies and declutter their brains. And I don't believe that we should just magically know how our emotions and our thoughts impact our lives if no one ever teaches us. So let's learn this stuff together. So I just wanted to do a little introduction to what is a very different podcast this week for us. This week I am in conversation with the wonderful, wonderful Albina, who is an incredible teacher who has taught me so much about nervous system dynamics, how we can check in with ourselves, and most importantly, how we can check in with our own joy. Her commitment to making really big concepts accessible and digestible is something that I have appreciated for years. And so I am elated to have invited her into conversation here for her to talk about her work, her angle on life, and also to be telling you about her fabulous new book. Stick around to the end where, due to some time differences, Bea was late for her meeting and I was banging on about being allergic to elephants and how we navigate our feelings about that. It was a wonderful conversation. I was elated to have it. So I hope you enjoy. Welcome to this week's podcast. So it is a very different podcast episode this morning than the ones that we are normally used to on Spam Filter for Your Brain, because I have the most incredible, gorgeous, beautiful guest here. Bea is someone who I reached out to invite onto the podcast. When I think of you, I think of nervous system knowledge, I think of deep learning, and the reason why I specifically wanted to invite you to come and speak to my people is no matter how many fabulous intersectional brains and wealth of information you impart onto people, the essence of all of your teaching, Bea, is so kind. It is the way that you put yourself across and the way that you share your knowledge is just so heartfeltly compassionate towards the people that you speak to. I love your approach. I love the way that you teach, and I would love to introduce you to my people. So I open the floor to you. Would you like to tell people who you are and where you've come from?
Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I feel very honored by your kind words, and kindness and compassion are the core of, I believe, why I was sent to this planet. And so you're seeing that and starting with that, and not, she has a master's degree from, like, it really is warming a very special part of my heart. So thank you. That's very, very sweet. Yeah. So shall I say all the words?
Please tell
Okay.
people why I'm just so envious of your brilliant brain.
Oh, you goose. You goose potato. So I use she, her pronouns. I am holding the most gorgeous black cat that has ever existed. His name is Wade Elizabeth. And I am, by training, I am a UCSF trained family nurse practitioner. I have a master's degree in public health. I am a somatic experiencing practitioner and a master certified life coach. And I am the host of the Feminist Wellness Podcast and author of the best-selling book, End Emotional Outsourcing: How to Overcome Your Codependent, Perfectionist, and People-Pleasing Habits. And I am also a certified silly goose, which I think is really important. I was certified by this cat. He runs a certification. It's a whole academy. So
my background, I don't think we've got into discussing this at all. And most people on the podcast will know, but not everybody, that my background is circus. So before I got into the coaching world, my background is circus, and a lot of the workshops for survivors work that we do, we also do a lot of tying in circus to try and help people reconnect with their body after they have experienced either trauma or any difficulties and historical problems with their bodies, trying to use play and joy to reconnect with their bodies. So we use things like trapeze to hold people for trust and core strength and to take safe risks in environments that you are learning to trust your body again. We have acrobatics for consensual touch, for being able to hold people and lift people and be able to converse about what is and isn't okay. My favorite workshop that we're not actually running at the moment, but it has been one of my favorite ones they're all my favorite. But we had a clown teaching elders how to fall over safely. Like we use a lot of the physical stuff to be able to reconnect with people's joy and trust and try and learn and play to be able to experience what it could be like with a different narrative. And of course, with the thought work and the coaching that I do, combining these things together can be super important. The thing that I feel is your amazing skill level is looking at the nervous system work and all of the regulation. I think like that idea of the joy is something that you bring into all of the work that I see.
Yeah, because like if not, what else are we doing this for? Like, what is the point, right, of all the yoga or circus or I don't know, healing retreat in Bali and all the journaling and all the navel gazing, if not to be a more grounded, oriented, present font of joy and love in the world? Like what else? What else is there really?
I think it can be so, a lot of this work can be seen to be so, with hold so much gravitas. It's also serious all
Right.
the time. And
Very serious.
what I love about your teaching is, like I think I don't think I've ever seen you teach a workshop where if things looked like they were getting a little bit too serious, you didn't like insist on a dance break. This is like something that I think of you, that as one of your fortes.
Listen, people don't realize the healing power of the conga. People don't know. You know what I mean?
But
People
you
don't
are
know.
progressing that. You are spreading the word, and I think
Phil Collins will soothe your soul. What is a Susudio? I don't know, but I'm gonna dance
we're all
about it.
there. Yeah, we're all there.
And like the thing is, so emotional outsourcing is, let me define our term here. It's when we chronically and habitually source our sense of the three most vital human needs: safety, belonging, and worth from everyone and everything outside of ourselves. It is the term I would like to see replace codependent, perfectionist, and people pleasing, because I think those terms keep us trapped in an identity where we are not the central character in our lives, right? We are deferential when it comes to like, how do you feel? What do you want for dinner? What career would you like? We're deferential to others and their opinions and their thoughts and their feelings and them. So when I point us towards joy, what I'm pointing us towards is being self-referential, not in some narcissistic way, but in a like, who are you and can you be your own North Star?
It's so important what you just said there. It just brought up such a stark thought for me about how when you are deferring to other people with that authority, what you are reminding yourself is that you can't be trusted and that you're unsafe, like disturbing your own sense of self-trust. And so all of the building and supporting all of those things that you taught in a way, when you talked about that trifecta of all of these three pillars, in a way it sounds like you're building a sense of yourself being home. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of the world's ills and pain points can be put down to individuals and collective groups, like searching for that sense of home and to try and
Yeah.
build a sense of home within yourself. Was what was coming up for me when I was just hearing you give that description.
I'm so glad to hear that, right? Because that's really what it is. Because how can we live happy, healthy lives where we are well if we are not looking internally to know, like, to put it really simply, like to know what's up?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Where we are within that place of what's up, and who do we want to be in response to what's up? All of those things.
Totally. Totally. And also, like, do you have to pee? Right? Because, like,
So
let's bring it back to our biological impulses, right? Like, we are ignoring our bodies to our own detriment. We don't rest. We don't stop, right? We just go, caring for others, caring for others, doing, giving, doing. We don't pee. It's fine. It's fine. I'll just hold it for another half hour. It's fine. It's fine. Let me get dinner done. Just let me get this in the oven. Just let me,
yeah.
right? We don't feed ourselves.
I think it's so interesting. I'm sure you do a lot of, I know that you do a lot of work online as well. I actively encourage people to eat on Zoom calls because
Right.
there's that thing, like, what are you doing being hungry while you're trying to do all of this, like self-care work? This is not self-care.
Yeah.
Like, it's so interesting, and what that brings up for people about, of course you can have your camera off, but to be able to see yourself eating as well, all of these thoughts that you have and the judgments that come up about watching yourself listen to your body's basic needs. I think
Yeah.
it's so interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It really changes the way we make decisions for ourselves, the ways we position ourselves as capable or not in our own minds, our own hearts, our own bodies. Right. So if we're talking about confidence, if we're talking about asking for a raise, if we're talking about leaving an abusive marriage, if we're talking about what do you want for dinner, right? We can go wicked small, we can go enormous. If you are not your reference point, um, well,
So
something's gonna be, right?
So what I'm hearing when you're saying that, and what I'm thinking about is that I'm sure that a lot of people who are listening to this are like, yeah, that sounds like a lovely theory, but actually I'm not my own reference point. I'm really used to
Right.
asking other people what they want and really used to putting everyone first because that makes me a good person, right? So
Totally.
if someone was in this position where they're like, yeah, that sounds like a really cute theory, Bear, so
Yeah.
far from that,
Yeah.
do you think might be a really beautiful, gentle, tiny first step
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
someone to be able to be going, what might I want here? Or am I even in this
Yeah.
picture?
For sure. So I want to say two things. One, the story that your people want you deferring to them for everything is complete BS. It's complete BS. Like whether you're a parent or not, just picture someone going, Mom, Mom, that's your name, right? Mom, 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 what should I eat? What should I do? What should I, what should I, what should I, what should I? That's annoying and exhausting and frustrating. Like, and if you're doing that to your friends and your family, we can have whatever you want for dinner. Don't worry. Oh, we can go on holiday wherever you want. Oh, do you think I need a coat? Do you what? I don't know. I just can't tell what I feel. Like, really put yourself in the other shoes for like a hot minute as a way to begin to like dissolve that story that deferring is kindness. Deferring is transferring responsibility for your life to someone else. And people who actually love you and care about you don't want that responsibility. Right? Someone who they're, you know what I'm saying? So let's just start there. A number one. B number two. How do we actually do this? Yeah. So in my world, I talk about how baby steps are ridiculous. I'm insulted by baby steps. A baby's foot is, were you a baby and a banana
I
at some
Yeah,
point?
it's funny.
Or
Like
have you met a
a
baby?
while ago, but
You were?
I was quite smaller, but it did
Yeah.
happen. Yeah.
You were quite smaller. Right. But was your foot still like a solid 3 inches? Like
It's
that's enormous. Come on, like 4 or 5 centimeters. That's a lot. That's a big step. So in my world, we take newborn baby kitten steps, which we're like talking millimeters compared. Do you see how quickly I switched into your units of measure?
I
I'm
love
impressed with me, I
that.
must say.
I'm very impressed with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Inches can go to HE double hockey sticks. So listen, we take the tiniest step. Why? Because we're mean. We're mean to ourselves. You should have done more. Well, somebody didn't get enough done today. Oh, you're not growing fast enough. You're not healing fast. Drop it. It's not based in science. It's actually antithetical to all the research about change.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody has a master's in public health around here. Meow. Right? Like the studies show that small incremental change over time is change that sticks. So tell that perfectionist part, no, thank you, and take the tiniest step. And the tiniest step is setting an alarm for 3 times a day. When that alarm goes off on your phone, you pause what you're doing, you feel your feet on the floor, and you ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? And then you ask yourself, what sensations are present in my body right now? So 9.98 out of 10 of us with emotional outsourcing are going to hear and feel the full response of, oh my God, I don't know. What am I feeling? I don't, feeling a sensation? Ah, that's great. That's great because it's not about hearing the answer. The answer is irrelevant. Okay, you're tired and your feet are heavy. You're happy and your chest is bright. Okay, that's not what's relevant. What's relevant is the ask. You see how we even kitten stepped that? What's relevant is I care enough about me. I matter enough to me. This life matters enough to me to ask me about it, to be self-referential, to do this pattern interruption where like for one hot minute, I matter. So yeah, if what do I feel? Oh, what body sensations? Oh, get, I don't know. Okay, great. Great. How's that feel as a starting point?
That's gorgeous. I love there's two juicy things that are bubbling in my brain from listening to what you were saying there. The deferring to other people and you talking about it as being irritating. I can imagine people using that as another stick to beat themselves with. And the
Yeah.
kind of flip side of that, I think, is that it's actually not kind to the people that you love because what you're doing is giving them less of the person that they love. You are
Yes.
just like dissolving yourself into
Yeah.
some malleable piece of like, you know, you are not showing up as like where are you when you are asking everyone else what all of your life decisions are. You're giving them less of the thing that they've chosen to spend their time and energy and heart around. Like where are you for them in that?
Yeah.
I would say that people pleasing is an anomaly because nobody is pleased and it's not acknowledging that you're a person. Who are the people that you're pleasing? Absolutely no one. Like both of
Yeah.
those things are aligned.
Yeah.
And that idea of these kind of kitten steps of like, I love the idea of it being like so tiny that you're just like making the ask, but I like the acknowledgement as well in amongst all of there, which I know that you know, but you didn't mention, and I just want to make sure that people really clocked in on is the commitment to your own well-being that you even bothered to set
Yes.
an alarm, that you chose
Right
to
on.
do it for yourself and you chose to do it ahead of time and that you're actually acting it through before you even get to the question. You've already said that you have value and your needs are worth making time for. And I think that's
Yep.
beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for clocking that last part and saying it because, right, motivation is BS. It's not real, especially in this dopamine economy. Commitment's everything. Ritual is everything, not routine. Who wants a routine? Get out of here.
I,
Right? Ritual.
a ritual, like turn it into a game, turn it into a spell, whatever it means that you get around to doing it, where it feels more playful and it
Yeah.
is some like time mechanism, let's get it in the diary thing. Like cute, everyone's got time management.
Yeah.
But like, how can we get this to be something that you want to do, something that's delicious for you? I think these kind of the ways that we can,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say trick ourselves, but like play with making these things a part of our routine in our day is really important.
Yeah. Make it easeful. And don't let your brain tell you it takes too much time or you don't have time for it.
Yeah.
That's just conditioning. It's not real.
Yeah. Coming
Yeah.
when you're talking about giving your essence away, I guess, by deferring to other people, something that I was thinking about quite a lot in the lead up to our conversation. Obviously, your book is about emotional outsourcing, and codependency is one of those interesting words that I think that everybody knows, but I'm not sure that everybody thinks that they're talking about the same thing because very few people define it for themselves. And
Right.
something that comes
Right.
up in coaching calls a lot and conversations that I have a lot is this idea that people find it very hard to shift. Whatever we do, we have to be very careful about because we cause other people's feelings and we are the emotional gatekeeper of everybody else's well-being and we need to play nicely or other people will be hurt. And I think you've probably got a shitload to say about that. So I just wanted to open that trapdoor and let you roll.
I think it starts with redefining codependent habits as managing other people to attempt to feel safer.
Mm,
It's never kind to manage someone else. And I think we've all been quite bamboozled to think it is, you know? And I think that part of what it comes down to is not trusting ourselves that we are genuine, loving, and kind. So a lot of the concern I get is, well, won't I turn into a selfish jerk and a big meanie pants if I'm not being codependent? Baby, baby, baby. If you're worried about it, I'm not worried about it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my abusive ex was never worried that they might be too kind to me. Never,
Yeah.
ever. I'm sure that's never crossed their mind while they were like screaming at me, etc. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I would worry. I would worry. right? So if you're the one who's like, oh, I just don't want to be some selfish jerk, it really starts with getting to know yourself. Write down your values and look at them daily and start doing work to see where exactly you're living into your values every day. And now, if you claim to value kindness and honesty, is it honest and kind to manage other people such that they don't have a feeling about you or like in the world? I don't want him to be upset. Like if I don't pack his lunch, then he's just not going to have a nutritious lunch, and then he's going to be upset. How about you let him be upset? And what that comes down to is not assigning our value system to other people's emotional worlds and not believing that we know what's best for others. And I think what's really hard in there is frankly white supremacy, right? That has cooked into all of us and has led most of us, and especially, I think, especially white women, to believe that, well, we know what's best, right? We know what the best thing for them to think and feel and experience is, right? It's like when your kid falls in the playground, do you rush over to them and go, oh my God, are you okay? Oh, you had such a bad fall. Or do you wait 5 seconds to see if they're going to start screaming or they're going to turn around and go, I fell, duh, and stand up and like keep running? We rush in to project our worries onto others and then we create their experience. And I don't think that's a kindness. Now, am I saying to be a meanie pants? Get out of town. Never. But am I saying to let other people fail? Don't let them fail by like falling off a cliff. But in our like day to day, let other people get frustrated. Let them get angry. Let them get sad. Let them have their human experience within the realm of like safety, right? But
I
it's not a kindness to keep people from having big feelings because you're scared of having them yourself. Because that's the thing, right?
Not allowing other people to have their feelings always comes back to the fact that you are not going to be comfortable with your thoughts about them having feelings. And what you
Totally.
said there about your idea of aligning your values with how you respond to other people, I think is also baked into that, is that idea of your worth being tied to them being okay. And that's what I
Totally.
circles back to this white supremacist idea that has been, as you say, baked into all of us, that everything must be all right and neutral and fine so that I can be happy. One of the most frequent conversations that I have when people first contact me about coaching is like, this sounds kind of nice, but I'm fine. I'm fine. I often think of our mutual friend Cara being like, well, what if you're fucking amazing? Just like stepping it up a level. Like, how do you level up from there? Like, fine is so neutral that it's tasteless. And actually that idea of making everything so flat, I think, is what you're talking about, that idea of the white supremacist idea of everything having to be how I think it should be in order for
Oh,
everything.
for sure. Yeah, it's the white gray interior and Mar-a-Lago face. Wow, that's heading into another direction altogether. I won't take us there. But next time we'll talk about that. But yeah, it's the like bland gray white interior to your life. I don't know, man. I'm from Latin America. I want color. I want fun. I want noise. I want sound. I want vibrancy. I want a life that's outstanding.
Mm,
Outstanding.
yeah. I'm going for exquisite
Right?
delicious.
Listen, gimme, gimme, gimme. But also like I get to create that.
Mm,
And with a dedication to that, I call in people who also want to create that.
yeah.
And I get it that if you grew up in suck it up, buttercup, we don't have feelings in this house, like joy can also be really freaking scary.
Yeah.
So like, let's acknowledge that. Okay. Joy is scary. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to stay in that fear? Maybe for a while, and that's okay. And then you get to do what Deb Dana teaches, which is look for the glimmers. Can I teach this tool real quick? Because it's a really good one.
Please do.
So, triggers are something that overwhelms the nervous system into a survival response, either playing dead or panicking. Glimmers are the opposite. And they are the things that bring us into joy, into wonder, into marveling. And they are the things we choose. Well, sometimes they can happen automatically, but what I like to recommend is a glimmer hunt, which is when we move through our day actively looking to find the beauty. Like the fact, okay, so there is a 15-pound, how many kilos is that? Like 6 kilo, big. He's a big beast, big black cat in my lap right now, fully asleep, snoring, not purring, snoring. He was in a garbage can a year ago. We found him 1 year ago yesterday in a literal garbage can with his brother. Someone was like, these lives don't matter. Okay. And now he's asleep in my lap. Glimmer Town baby. And so every time I'm like gonna cry because the trust is so humbling. This brings my nervous system towards a belief system in which joy is possible, in which trust is possible, in which kindness and compassion and consent and mutuality and interdependence and also a ton of cuteness is possible. And so, sure, I could focus on the negative, but like, what are you talking about? There's a trash can cat in my lap right now. You know, how beautiful is that? Right? Also, my wife just got home and like he heard the car. Well, she's probably about 2 blocks away, and he just jumped out of my lap and ran to the front door to greet her. Girl, get out of town with how cute that is.
That
He's
is.
gone. He was like, sleeping with you is cute, but listen,
I got
other
brave.
mothers here. He's like shaking his hair out. He's like, let me run to the door
Ear
and look
flirting.
cute. Right? And
I
that's a
just
marvelous thing.
I love what you were just saying about glimmers there. I actually learned something only in the last couple of weeks. It was something I think I saw on Instagram, and it was about transforming the word triggers into using the word activated, which I
Oh,
really appreciated. Like the
yeah.
violence and the aggression of the word triggers has never really sat well with me. And since I saw that, I was like, oh, actually, that's something that I
Yeah.
really want to be moving towards.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like activated feels more in alignment with the world that I want to be creating rather than talking about triggers. And I just found it really interesting. And the other image that came to mind as you were talking about this glimmer treasure hunt, as someone who, spent 2 decades working in circus and has,
Yeah.
like glitter is like plague of showbiz. And what I
Sure.
think about is you would find glitter places it had no business being for
Listen.
so many weeks after a show. I think the idea of maybe like trying to use something like glitter or when you see it on something else as a little reminder place to go like, where's the glimmer here? Like,
Yeah.
where's the reminder to be able to go,
Yeah.
that's something that I
Yeah.
want to choose to look for.
It's really lovely. And it doesn't have to be anything as magnificent as a garbage cat, but like the color red. How beautiful is that? Right? Like, I don't know that there's like ink exists, pens exist. I know it
Rain
sounds
makes me laugh.
banal and stupid, but like, what are you talking about? This is amazing. And so
I,
it's really what we're doing is we're shifting the the default mode network in our brain that tells the default story of how we relate to the world. We're shifting it from womp womp into, okay, how can I find the cool? How can I find the shot? Like, what's amazing? Like this Gaza pin. Like, look at these colors. The fact that this is like metal with enamel on it, right? And that like I can see someone wearing this and I know we're kin,
yeah,
and vice versa. And it's so tiny,
yeah.
right?
And
Or
says
like,
so
wait,
much.
what are you talking about that I have fingernails? And I'm serious, like there's bones outside my body.
As an English person, one of
Whoa.
my favorites is rain. It's like there's water falling at me from the sky. That's ridiculous. That's so silly.
It's so wild. And that rain is me. And we can get all non-dualistic now, right? Like that rain is me. I am that rain.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And then that is another
Yeah.
whole 10-hour podcast. I want to circle back
I'm
if you
available.
allow me. Oh, I'd love it. If
Yeah.
you allow me just
Yeah.
to go back to that idea as we were talking about the idea. I just want to sort of make sure that people have tangible things that they can walk away with. And that idea of people thinking that other people can cause their feelings. These kitten steps that you were talking about, that check in with yourself that you were mentioning in terms of like checking in with your own needs and not deferring to other people. If people are like, yeah, this is cute, but like clearly, if I say something horrible, someone else is going to be hurt and offended. And so I must be really nice all the time and do all the things that they want. If they catch themselves in this mind cycle, do you have anything that is a similar little kitten step that you could offer people to go like, hold up, where are you in this picture?
I mean, of course, yeah, everything we say and do has the potential to impact someone, but like, why would you negate your own agency?
Mm.
Right. So, like, I was hanging out with a friend's 7-year-old the other day, and she was walking holding my elbow, and she goes, Tia Bea, when I hold your elbow, it's like actually it's how I imagine that an elephant is. And I had two options. One, you can go fuck your whole fuck off, you little shit. Or, oh my God, you are so cute and adorable. And elephants are brilliant and matriarchal and gorgeous and incredible and so intelligent. And thank you. So I get to choose what I want to make out of any statement. And sure, some are going to rub up against an old wound. Sure, of course they are. That's, and we get to decide not always the first feeling, because that's the activation in the nervous system, right? And if I had some long standing trauma around elephant skin, right, then like I might have gotten activated. And that's that first feeling. Cool. I orient my nervous system, I regulate, I ground, I breathe, I come back into self reference, into agency, and I decide, do I want to stay mad at an adorable 7-year-old? Do I want to stay flipped out about some comment? She has no frame of reference for being mean. Or do I want to choose to find it cute and sweet? So that's where that agency and choice comes in. And we are all of us at any time, both the 7-year-old and the 46-year-old. Right? Because I've said so many things that I thought were so complimentary, only to have someone's face fall. Right?
Mhm.
And unwittingly hurt them. So the point is, again, self love, self trust, values. Who are you? Are you trying to be mean and cruel? Or are you just setting a boundary and a limit? Because when we don't, we resent the people we love. And that's a lot meaner.
Yeah.
Just trust who you are and what you mean in the world, you know?
Yeah, and being a something that I bring to people in coaching calls quite a lot is that idea that if you hold your values to be true, like if you value that kindness, as you say, compassion, wisdom, these things,
Yeah.
these are things that you are going to, if you value these things in other people, these are going to be things that you're exceptional at.
Yeah.
You know, these are things that you're
Yeah.
going to put a lot of effort into. I
Yeah.
also have to tell you, with
Yeah.
your fabulous analogy, that I am allergic to elephants. And
Oh,
of all of the people you have
yeah.
a story to, I don't
That's
have a big
hilarious.
elephant trauma, but elephants are they're amazing. I have loved talking to you today. Like I would be very happy to chat to you for
Likewise.
17 hours. Um, But I would like to give you a chance to let people know where they can find out more about your work, where they can come into more contact with your
Yes.
brilliant brain. You just explain
Yeah.
massive, what I consider to be very high intelligent medical concepts in such a like, oh my God, my dyslexic brain can understand it way. I adore it. So please do tell people
Yeah.
where they can find you.
Yeah. Let me get to it. So my podcast is called Feminist Wellness. It's free wherever you get your shows. The book is called End Emotional Outsourcing: How to Overcome Your Codependent, Perfectionist, and People-Pleasing Habits. You can find out, learn more, get some freebies, and order on my website at Beatriz, Beatriz, albina.com/book. And you can follow me on the gram. I give good gram at Beatriz Victoria Albina NP.
I will put all of the links for all of those things in the show notes. And it has been an absolute joy talking to you today. Thank you so much for
A
making
true delight.
bliss.
Thanks for having me. All right. Bye.
If you've been enjoying what you're hearing on the podcast, you will love Self-Care School. Self-Care School is longer versions of this, more in-depth and more personalised. We have a whole hub of courses from body image to boundaries, perfectionism, time management, and a whole range of other topics. You name it, there's probably a course on it. But most importantly, we also have a weekly group coaching call where you get to apply this stuff to your everyday life and get support to try and untangle your own story from some of the emotions that you might not be enjoying in your life. If you would like to learn how to apply this work to your specific situation and to be building a life of your dreams, I would love to see you inside. Do pop over to selfcareschool.co.uk.